Hey everyone, welcome back Nanuya Podcast. And today's episode is about one simple truth that can carry you through the toughest storms. Never stop believing in yourself. Believing in yourself isn't just some motivational slogan. It's the foundation of every great achievement. Think of it as your inner compass. When you lose it, everything feels uncertain. Like you're wandering through a thick fog with no sense of direction. But when you trust yourself, you carry a guide that helps you move forward, even when the road is winding and unclear. This kind of belief isn't about pretending obstacles don't exist. It's about having the courage to take that first step, even if you're not sure where it leads. It's what drives an athlete to train before sunrise when no one's cheering. It's what pushes an entrepreneur to launch an idea everyone else calls impossible. And it's what gives you the confidence to speak up in class, in meetings, or in life, even when fear whispers, "What if you fail?" In today's episode, we're talking about how to build that unshakable self-belief. How do you trust yourself when everything around you feels uncertain? How do you keep going when the world tells you to quit? Stick around, because by the end of this episode, you'll see that believing in yourself isn't a luxury. It's a decision. And it's one you can make starting today. Why belief matters. Belief isn't wishful thinking. It's the fuel that powers persistence, creativity, and courage. Every invention, every career breakthrough, every dream come true started with someone deciding, "I can do this, even if I don't know how yet." Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't simply stumble upon the light bulb. He endured over 1,000 failed experiments. But to him, each failure wasn't proof of inadequacy. It was evidence that he was closer to finding the solution. Without belief in his own ability to figure things out, he would have quit long before history remembered his name. Consider J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a single mother living on government assistance, receiving rejection letter after rejection letter from publishers. If she hadn't believed that her story mattered, even when no one else did, millions of readers would have missed the magic. Belief acts as an internal contract with yourself. It says, "Even if the world doubts me, I won't." It transforms obstacles into challenges rather than dead ends. People who succeed aren't necessarily smarter, richer, or luckier. They simply refuse to stop showing up. They understand that effort compounds like interest. Each step forward, each lesson learned, each setback overcome builds invisible momentum until one day the results become visible to everyone. In short, belief doesn't make success easy. It makes success possible. It's the quiet decision to keep going when logic says quit, the stubborn spark that turns impossible into inevitable. We all have that inner critic. It doesn't always shout. It whispers. Sometimes it sounds like, "You're not smart enough," or "Who are you to even try this?" And here's the truth. That voice isn't always ours. Often it's an echo from the past. A teacher who underestimated you, a boss who dismissed you, a friend who laughed when you shared your dream. Even family members with good intentions can plant seeds of doubt that grow into barriers in our own minds. The danger isn't just hearing that voice, it's believing it. Because the more you repeat a thought, the deeper it sinks in. Over time, the critic stops sounding like an intruder and starts sounding like truth. That's how potential gets buried. Not by failure, but by fear disguised as reason. But here's the shift. You get to choose which voice gets the microphone. Will it be the critic? The one that thrives on your hesitation? Or will it be that quieter voice, the one that often gets drowned out whispering, "Keep going. You're closer than you think. That voice of belief is subtle. It doesn't always promise certainty, but it offers hope. Hope that effort matters. Hope that you can learn. Hope that you're capable of more than yesterday proved. And hope, when fed daily, becomes confidence. Every person who achieved something extraordinary had that same battle inside. They weren't fearless. They were selective. They learned to turn down the volume on doubt and turn up the sound of possibility. In the end, the question isn't, do you have an inner critic? We all do. The real question is, which voice will you amplify? Because the voice you amplify becomes the life you live. 4 ways to strengthen your self-belief are: collect proof of your strength. Start a resilience journal. Write down moments when you overcame challenges, big or small. Maybe you passed a class you thought you'd fail. Maybe you recovered after losing a job. Reviewing this list reminds you of your ability to adapt and survive. 2. Focus on progress, not perfection. Belief grows when you see yourself moving forward. Break big goals into small, actionable steps. Celebrate tiny wins, finishing a chapter of a book, making a single sales call, running 1 mile. Each step whispers, "You're capable." 3. Surround yourself with energy givers. Belief is contagious. Spend time with people who encourage you and expose yourself to stories of others who have overcome obstacles. These are reminders that success is possible for you too. 4. Speak to yourself with kindness. Monitor your self-talk. If you wouldn't say it to a best friend, don't say it to yourself. Swap, "I'm not good enough" for "I'm still learning, and that's okay." Over time, these words reshape your mindset. Putting belief into action. Self-belief doesn't mean waiting to feel fearless. It means acting while you're still scared. Fear is normal, but don't let it paralyze you. Take 1 bold step today. Send that application, record that video, write that proposal. Action feeds belief more than thinking ever will. Remember, critics will always exist. Some live in the outside world, some inside your head. But if you stop believing in yourself, you're giving them control over your story. And your story belongs to you. So here's today's challenge. Choose one thing you've been avoiding out of fear and do it today. Not because you're certain you'll succeed, but because you're willing to bet on yourself even without a guarantee. Self-belief isn't built in a single moment. It's built like muscle, through repetition, effort, and patience. The more you practice trusting yourself, the stronger you become. Thanks for tuning in to Ninuya Podcast. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to hit that follow button so you never miss an episode. You are stronger than you think, smarter than you believe, and capable of more than you imagine. Never stop betting on yourself.